So I'm going to do a little stock review here on Crew Energy. I did something similar like this to Real Can REIT. It did pretty well on my channel, my best viewed video. So I thought I'd pick another stock that I own, dig a little deeper, see if it's actually still a good buy or not. And the reason I'm invested in this one is really because of LNG Canada. This is going to be shipping natural gas over to Asia, rest of the world, get market prices for it. And Crew Energy's in a perfect location. That's why I invest into it. So LNG Canada, this is about 85% finished. And by 2025, it's going to be fully operational. They're actually already thinking about expanding it. And I just heard news that there might be building another LNG project up in Kitimat, BC there. So 2 LNG plants expanding on this one. It's pretty exciting, but the first one's going to be opening up here in 2025, so maybe about 6 months from now. And I thought there'd be a good run up in these natural gas stocks. And of course, after summer, natural gas prices and stocks tend to go up a little bit. That's what I'm hoping for anyways. So the first thing I do when I review any stock is I always look at the stock chart itself. This just gives you a general fundamental of what everybody thinks of the stock. It's the market price. I think this is crucial in any stock evaluation. So here we are at 429. I think it's been in this price range for the last 2 years. Let's go back a bit, 5 years. Yeah, so I first heard of Crew Energy, I think right around the same price it's been at, but probably around here, around 2022, I guess. Yeah, it made some big jumps up. I didn't see these big jumps, but yeah, I did see this jump from like 370, I believe, and it popped up because it had some good inventory levels, and then it went stagnant. I just recently looked into it and bought into it. I don't know, I want to say a couple months ago. I'll have to look into it. Just as this run up into LNG. That's the only reason I bought into it. I didn't dig deep like this video, so I'm going a little deeper now. And zooming in on the chart, it's not actually been very great. It kind of pops up and then sinks back down low, pops up, sinks back down low. It sank here pretty deep here, almost broke down below $4, popped back up. So it's not looking terribly great here on the stock chart. I could see the stock breaking down below $4, maybe even testing this. Let's get a better look here. So this is kind of short term on the moving averages. I do the 5 and the 10 simple moving averages as a pretty good gauge. Short term, how people are viewing the stock. So I could see it breaking out up here, kind of moving back up. It would be great to get out of this downtrend here. It looks like it's trying. I don't know if it will. So I updated the moving averages here to kind of give you an idea of the resistant levels. And you can see there's a couple big resistant levels coming up. So this one's probably going to have to go flat for a bit, kind of build a solid ground to work off of before it kind of pops up over here, over $5. Anyways, so it's going to be a little while. It's not going to make you massive amount of money in the short term. But, I'm hoping to hold this for like 6-8 months at least. Get that LNG money going, get the prices up in natural gas, and we'll see how this one does. So that's kind of the stock chart there, kind of what I'm hoping for, what I'm expecting. And some of the downside here is obviously it could fall below $4, natural energy prices. Just don't know what you're going to get there. So I'm going to start here with the Crew Energy presentation, kind of check it out, kind of what you're getting here. Now, Crew Energy is basically all in the Montney area. It's perfect location to LNG Canada. They say they're inventory rich, but I kind of looked into this. I'm not as positive on their inventory levels. So they have a reserve life right here. They say they have 8 years. And then P1, 22 years, 2P, 42 years, which is not bad, but guaranteed 8 years, which is not great because I believe they want to double their production in the next 4 or 5 years. So they're doing about almost 30,000 barrels per day. And I believe they want to double this to around 60 in the next 4 or 5 years. So if you're looking at the inventory levels, that could cut in half. So you could be looking at not a whole lot of inventory. So every time they look into their inventory, they seem to be able to keep increasing it. From 2022, they were able to expand their 1P inventories by 17% and 27% on their 2P inventories. So they've been able to really get way more out of the land. Natural gas just seems to do that. They always seem to have more and more natural gas. So I don't know if that's just techniques of just bringing inventory out of the ground or how they do it. But this 4 years, if they do end up doubling the inventory, not super great. I do think Crew Energy either gets acquired or it buys another company. It needs to get larger. And then you look at this area here, lots of big players, but I don't see any of them really needing to buy this company or would be even interested in buying this company. Like you have ARC, Shell, Strathcona. Like these companies are all really big. Strathcona, they bought this right here. I'm circling it on the little map. But all these companies are good inventory. But they really don't need to buy Crew. So I think Crew's middle spot that you probably don't want to be in, or they might get acquired, but they also might go and acquire somebody. So that there is scary. I was kind of looking into this one here. This is a private company that's right beside Crew. For some reason, I just think there's a couple private, fairly decent sized companies right beside Crew that I think Crew could buy. I don't think the market would like it. I think the stock would probably not like it. But yeah, something like this, I could see Crew just buying. Their land's right next to private company, not on the stock market. And then of course AAV here and the TSX just finished closing their acquisition of what I believe is the old Crew land that they spun or they sold off 10 years ago now maybe. I could be wrong on this. Just got acquired by Advantage here, 445 million. But anyways, let's go back to the Crew deck. I'm going to assume that there's going to be no acquisitions, and worst case scenario, Crew acquires another company. So the reserve life, it's kind of a moving target. Not great, not bad. If Crew does want to expand their production, which I think they're going to want to, these numbers are probably fluctuating a little lower. But that's probably a problem for a couple years from now. I don't think that's something you have to worry about immediately. And I do like that shareholders are heavily insiders. I believe they own quite a bit as far as insiders go. 6 of the top 10 are insiders. They have tax pools of almost $1,900,000,000 here. That's going to be great for them for at least the next couple of years to reduce taxes there. So they have best cost almost in that Montney area because they're so close to the LNG plant. Debit levels are pretty good. They're at about 150 million. Production's been about flat for the last couple years. They are going to expand this pretty dramatically. They're probably going to be spending more money. Debt will probably be going up from this number here, but those are down the road. This year's kind of just steady as it goes. It's waiting for LNG Canada to come online so they can get better pricing and then they'll start expanding. That's really what they're planning on doing just this year in 2024. Just maintenance, maintain, efficiencies. The reserve life, it's been kind of a wild up and down. Here's the reserve life here. Keeps going up. The last couple of years, they've managed to get a lot more out of their land here, which is definitely a nice surprise. Here's the growth plan. So 2024 is a stagnant year, and then they're really expanding to ramp it up, which is good and bad. They're going to go in debt here to expand that high. Their acreage and land are going to look less attractive, but they do need to be a bigger company. The big investment this year is this plant here. 50 million, 60 million probably at the end of it. Groundbirch project here. This is going to be like the headquarters for their growth in the next couple of years. Yeah, so they'll be able to get over to 60,000 with this project when it's finished. So it's a good investment in doing this. I have no problems at all with them spending money to get Groundbirch up and running. There's their hedging, 40 to 50% of the production. Looking more into the Montney. Here's their strategic land. Again, they're in a great position right here. The yellow is them. Like I said, they're surrounded by all of these big companies, but I don't really see any of them needing to buy Crew. They all are very inventory rich as far as natural gas goes. A couple private companies here. The purple here, acquiring them maybe, especially right around the Groundbirch plant there. Again, that's a private company. Their wells are producing well here. Again, they're going over the history of the reserve life from 2015 to 2023. It's doubled since that time. But has its stock doubled? Let's see that. Going back to 2015, Nope, it has not doubled. It's still the same price. It did that big crater. So, ouch. You got inventory, but ouch. Yeah, it's a pretty easy one to evaluate because it's such a small company. And like any natural resource company, you're really banking on how well the oil or how well the natural gas prices do in the future. Like I said, Asia prices have come down pretty dramatically. I think in like 2022 they were at like $12. They're probably around like $6 now. I could see the stock running up a little bit here. I don't think it would make any dramatic moves the more I look into it. If you could get this to somehow, go up like 50%, get it around $6 where it was back in 2022 or something. 2023, it was at, so just last year. A year ago, it was at $6. With the momentum of LNG Canada, they'll get way stronger prices. And yeah, maybe a 50% move or something in the year. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. I think my average is maybe a little bit higher than this right now, but I could average down if I wanted to. So I might hold off, wait and see kind of approach, hold what I got, and reevaluate it if it comes back down. But I definitely think there's some opportunity, definitely in that Montney area with LNG Canada. Let me know what you think in the comment section below.